Hi, Lynette here. Seattle Times yesterday, there's an article, front page story, about a shooting happened in Burien, which is just south of Seattle. It's kind of a sketchy kind of city. And they say on the headline that it was a gang shooting. And then they say in the body of the story that it was a Hispanic gang, which I was really proud of the Times for saying that, because I thought that was illegal by the thought police to say what nationality these crimes were committed by. And the sad thing was that the people who shot into a window and killed a woman who was working there, 51-year-old woman, and it just doesn't get any more tragic than that. And this brings up the conversation of immigration. I can guarantee you without knowing that these gang members are here illegally. Because if you come here legally, you're not going to be involved in a drug gang. It just makes common sense. It's just, this is not rocket science. Therefore, everybody that wants to scream about stopping illegals from coming in has a good and valid point. And if we were allowed to talk about this calmly, without the emotions coming from the left, and the illogic and the lack of reason, it would be really nice, because we have a problem. If we let people come into our country illegally, we have no control over their skills, their ability to contribute to our society at all, their health, any number of things. Donald Trump wants to make some hard and fast rules, choose who's coming into this country. Why in the world aren't we allowed to choose who comes into our country? That doesn't make any sense at all. We should be allowed to say you have to have a certain skill set, and possibly even one that we don't have that many of. That's how Canada is. You can't just go into Canada if you're a painter or a barber, because they have plenty of painters and barbers of their own. I know this because my husband and I lived there for 2 years. And in our second year, we were being looked at by the immigration people, even though we were there legally on a worker visa. And they said, you know what, we don't really need you. We have people that can do this job just as well as you can. And so we were going to have to leave anyway. So this just makes sense. The ability to, if people have their babies here, that is so illogical. And other countries don't do that. Why in the world, the greatest gift of all is American citizenship, and you want to hand that to somebody who's come here illegally, who's broken the law, who is in essence a criminal? Does that make any sense? So I hope that Donald Trump visits this as soon as the election's over, the midterms, so that he can get these things passed. And that's why it's so important to vote for Republicans who will stand with him on this. The emotional backdrop of the liberals and Democrats on this immigration issue is just really makes your brain explode. That they somehow think that by virtue of wanting to come here, you are a good person. That's just silly. Odds are you're not. Odds are you were involved in the drug trade down there, and odds are you're going to be involved in the drug trade up here because you have nothing else to fall back on. Crime is usually committed by people with low education. That's also a proven fact. Doctors and lawyers aren't coming over illegally to America. They're coming through the process. And they have something to offer from all countries. Why? The other thing that's important for our immigration reform is that so much of our immigrant population is from Mexico, Central, South America. And that doesn't make for good diversity. If you want to use that word, go ahead and use that word. But let's have diversity. Let's have just as many people come from England and Spain and France, all these other countries that you say, oh, well, you're just a white supremacist. Well, no, it's only fair. Why in the world do all these people from the Hispanic countries get to come? It doesn't make any sense. So let's vote Republican so we can get these laws passed and change this broken system that has really done so much harm to our country, Our schools are not producing students with as good an education as they used to, because we are being slowed down by so many people who don't speak our language and don't have our culture, and their families don't have our culture. And our hospitals, there's hospitals that have closed in many of the California, Texas, Arizona cities and towns because they can't handle the immigrants that come for free health care. They went broke. My in-laws lived in a city in Southern California, and 2 of their hospitals closed up while they lived there because they absolutely went broke taking care of illegals, mostly coming over to have their babies. I, as a taxpayer, don't want to pay for this. So these things are important, and I know it sounds racist, but it's just common sense. And if it sounds racist to want to protect where your tax dollars go to, then yeah, I'm a racist. I'll admit that. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.